In this video, I'm showing you the best way to slow down fading guards in NBA 2K26. If you're new to the channel, my name is Lance. I was a head coach in the NBA 2K League for 6 seasons. I won a championship with Bucks Gaming, and for the last 2 seasons, I was a head coach for USA Basketball in the eFIBA competition where we've won 2 back-to-back gold medals. I have a lot of experience when it comes to working with high-level offenses and defenses and players, so I'm going to show you what I would implement in the defensive schemes here to help slow down the guards. Now, a lot of this stuff is also dependent upon skill of the players and the builds that you have. And so take these. If they don't work, adjust your team. But these are like the best settings or the best kind of defensive scheme that you should have implemented to slow down these guards. So if you haven't played NBA 2K26, especially at a high level in Pro-Am, you'll see a guard like this close hand player here. Watch some of the fades that they can be able to get off here and be able to hurt us on defense. The fades are just as easy to time as standstills, and so there's a lot of players trying to, crab, quick stop those, but some of the hardest players to defend are these guards that can just speed, go all the way sideways, shoot the shot. Throughout my time of playing Pro-Am so far in NBA 2K26, this has been one of the hardest adjustments to find and one of the hardest players to guard, in my opinion. Like the type of player, the ones that can fade really well. So for clip number 1 here, we're going to kind of talk about, again, positioning on defense and like what you need to do a baseline as a team and what we implemented here. Now, again, there's a lot of talented guards in NBA 2K26, and they will also adjust. So it's kind of a chess match between how you want to play it. So if we look at our defense, how we're set up here, they are running an inside, which is pretty rare. And so we knew that we had paint help if we needed it. We didn't really have to worry about the pop. But this guard was using that inside to really set big screens, go shoot the fade. So the first defensive adjustment we implemented, we really had our lock try to keep out here to the right of our guard. Now, you're not just sitting on the side because you're going to get crabbed. You're just going to give up the runs. But ideally, what you want to do as a team, always force a fading guard to help defense. So here on the left, we have stacked guards. Here's our shooting guard, me as point guard in the corner. The more that we can force this guard left here, this guard went right wing every single play this entire game. This is where they wanted to be. They wanted to get to their left hand over the middle. They wanted to get to that really good right fade. They were righty. And so with Pro 2 fade, they always got that really good one to the right. But one thing you want to implement as a defense, always try to send this guard to help and then have those people in help. So our idea here, our lock plays the right side of this. We're going to try to force them left. Our power forward now can step, play any lane also to the paint. So if they fake step, they drop. As the center rolls, he's already going to be in position versus if the lock, is here, forces over. Sometimes that angle is a little harder. And so we were always trying to force middle here. If the guard drives, they're driving into our power forward. If they go wing, they're here. If they drive too far left, we have pinch help from the wing. And so that was our first implementation here of trying to slow down this fading guard. As you can see, we're kind of putting the guard in tighter spaces. Good rotation back out. So as our lock hands off, again, this is like top level locks are going to do this a lot. They see the hand off to the power forward. They see the center go. He runs to the corner. Our power forward was going to take the guard out if they ended up trying to do anything, but we ended up getting a stop here. So again, just remember, always send these fading guards to help. So if he goes right, you need to have this player be ready to go, or he has to be able to step up and then the center go. Here's another clip of what I'm talking about when it comes to handing off the guard. So this guard ends up going to the right wing, and we want to force and pinch and get back. So we're going to force him right. Our center pinches, gets back. It's little stuff like this. This isn't anything insane. A lot of players know how to pinch and get back, but it's all about your lock positioning and not trying to play, kind of hero ball when it comes to guarding some of these fading guards. So as a corner players, you aren't just responsible for your corner player. You're also responsible for helping on the pinch. This is where everybody has to talk, because if the center cuts, if the guard's going right, it's now the power forward's job to take that cut. If this guard was to come all the way corner, the lock's going to try to keep chasing. If there's a popper, the lock would play back. But those are other things we'll get into. But again, it's just that pinch and get back. They end up scoring, but it's more about the concept of what I'm talking about trying to put these guards in these smaller spots that are much harder to just shoot, or they might think about passing a little bit more, because most of your fading guards are going to be like really high level scorers or like be primary scorers for the team. And so you just got to be ready to put them in those smaller gaps, force them to help, make them make passes that they don't want to make. So I want to show this clip because I wanted to kind of show that even myself, who understands the game really well, it takes time to see like what the other team is doing. And embarrassingly enough, it took me about 3 quarters to see the kind of defensive adjustment we need to make in this specific game. So if you notice the last 2 clips, the point guard has always come to the right wing. He's always there dribbling. And I didn't even think about making the adjustment to switch me and my center. The reason why you want to switch this, or try to, a lot of guards try to isolate center on single side because there's no rotation points. It's harder to play two. Like here now, with our center on the left, our wing can now play two or help play two to allow them to go. We can run better rotations. The center can play two better with jumps out of the corner. And the weakness with the center being on single side is they are a bigger player, but if the guard is up here and they run and try to get back, then most of the time they're going to be out of position. They're going to have to jump. They're slower, all of those things. So one thing that the guard can do better in the single side is if you're fast enough, which I am, you can run, bait, get back, all of those things. But on the left side, we now have better rotation points. We have better help from our center being able to go. And now our guard can play mind games on, are they going to stay here? Are they going to get to the corner? Vice versa. So here's our first possession with me switching the center. And so again, Alok's playing the wing here. We could have played this to force him more, but that's fine. Playing our defense. Now our power forward, as you can see, like I said, they have the ability to just play the game. We could pinch here a little bit if we wanted, but if you have an elite power forward, they could step, show, and then still play the lane as they get back. But this just keeps your power forward in better lanes for passes like this that they could steal. And so also you can see on our left, our shooting guard can play two, our center can go. So we end up going. I ended up following, like I'm baiting down. I'm actually not actually playing it. I'm just showing. Center kind of falls for what I was wanting them to do. Pass over. Now our power forward runs out because he sees that our center already went. And then again, this is really elite defense when it comes to like seeing the situation. Our center knows like if they go, they're going to stay paint. Power forward runs, we get the block. Nothing like insane, but again, the concepts of what's going on with kind of the baiting and the positioning of what we can do now as a defense. Now, this isn't easy to get into. Some guards will manipulate the defense. They'll wrap. They'll do a lot of things to get that switch and to be able to get the center on the single side, but it's your job as a defense to make those adjustments. So in this clip, this is just, again, just showing why knowing where to position your players and the personnel that you have. So again, I talked about, forcing these guards into smaller spaces, making them make things happen that they don't want to have happen per se. But my player, more than my center, probably has the ability. Now, some centers can, but I show up, I'm pinching this wing heavy. I know if the guy goes that my power forward is going to take it. But it's just, again, the ability of the difference between my guard being able to run up, play two, and then I get back, I jump immediately, and I end up getting the contest for a stop. So again, forcing these guys into these smaller gaps is your best chance to slow them down. So again, as you can see, he's coming up the left here, forcing him. He's playing his right hand. He's dribbled to the right. We went for a blitz, ends up getting around it. So now we're kind of broken down. Our power forward has to step here a little bit. He fakes it. Our lock's back. Now, again, we force him into another smaller space, possibly have the crab. I show, makes the extra. Again, something that possibly that guard didn't want to do. They were very scoring heavy. So, again, those little adjustments like that, and you're going to have to live with sometimes other players beating you versus allowing one player to do exactly what they want to do. You just got to make them uncomfortable. So sometimes that takes giving up some other stuff here and there, but just not allowing that guard or their main offensive focus to be able to take over the game entirely. And that's kind of a successful defense. If you can take away number one option, possibly even number two option, it's going to definitely put you in a position to win a lot more games. Here's another clip here just to really show you why you need to just play positioning. You got to all be on the same page as a team. So just kind of look at where everybody is positioned here. This is really, really good positioning. Now, there's guards that are going to be able to score in certain situations, but this guard is really heavily looking to shoot the ball. They're down 7. He knows that they need a 3. He wants to take the 3. And we are playing very aggressive positioning here when it comes to keeping this guard in the middle. Our lock's playing the right, maybe a little bit too much, probably trying to be a little bit more on the side. We could pinch with our shooting guard. Our center could play 2. Our power forward is playing a mind game here. And then on the right with me, I'm not actually dropping to take the center. The only thing that I'm trying to do as a guard in the corner, and your centers are going to love you guards if you can do this with this game. This game, anybody can box out for a second. The center is going to worm me 100%, but it's all about trying to make contact. And that's really what I'm trying to do here. I feel like I can get back out. Some people might not agree. I'm really getting down here. I'm trying to make contact with the center to be able to help my center get the rebound. Now, he kind of goes a little bit left, but the ideas here of what I'm trying to do here. Box, make contact. It's not going to let that center jump immediately, and our center can come down and get the board. And everybody, I'm telling you, if you're a guard, your centers, your bigs are going to love you if you play this. Now, don't give up threes off this stuff, but also you see where our lock is running. In case this guy does get the rebound, we need to be able to, we're up 7. There's really no point to run the break yet. For the final clip here, let's talk about sideline out of bounds. A lot of teams don't set up properly. It's the same concept. Just know the shooting guard or the off guard will always have to go to the opposite wing. So on sideline out of bounds, unless they immediately wrap when they get the ball in, you will always be able to get the matchups that you want most of the time inside and out of bounds when it comes to at least your initial setup. So the initial setup for me is I'm always going to be sideline out of bounds, like the inbounder side, because I know I'm going to have single side corner. I can get my big to the opposite side so that we can rotate or play 2 from that side. And so just know that is where you want to be. And then the next thing is, as a team, you got to talk. This team ran a lot of fifis, which if you don't know what a fifi is, I'll have an offensive breakdown another time. But essentially, it's a cut where their guard fills the corner. When this guy chases the cut, they just throw the corner pass. So this one, we communicated we're going to chase our cuts. And so here, again, it's just all being on the same page. So guard gets it, sends the cut down. He runs out, doesn't think I'm going to chase. I do chase. I end up getting the contest. We get a stop. Pretty much securing the game for us. But I really just want to talk about sideline out of bounds sets, understanding where the personnel is, what they're trying to do. I got whoever is going to this corner. And so if it's this guy's going to stay corner, I got it. If this guy runs corner, I got it. And then my power forward, I'm going to hand off anybody, whether they cut or anything like that. But again, the center inbounded, so I end up taking my own cut here, chasing it out, getting the contest. What a lot of times happen is off these, they go into an overload set, which overload set is when you send the corner, they go fill somewhere, and now it's the point guard center kind of overloading one side, or we're overloading the left side of the court, and now we're running a PNR from the right with no corner. And so again, it's just all about defensive adjustments and how you want to play those things, but you got to communicate. And that'll do it for this video. If you're a YouTube content creator, I have a tool in the description called LaunchLens. It helps you with your titles, tags, and descriptions. Pretty much it will auto-analyze your video and output those for you and automatically apply them. So check that out. If you're interested in running Pro-Am or learning more about high-level Pro-Am, there's a Discord link in the description below, so check that out as well. And if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.